Hey, we are crawling on all fours, and today we're talking about Duratrax Fossil 1.9 crawler tires. So these are the Duratrax Fossil 1.9 tires. They ended up being acquired by Horizon Hobby. And Horizon Hobby basically did away with the OG Duratrax, and that would be the Deepwoods, the Showdown, Approach, and Scalar. These are the Enduro Canyon Trail clones. They are not the Traxxas Canyon Trail tire, so not the same compound, not the same rubber. An average cheap rubber, it does okay. These were the additional tires, the extra set of tires that I had that I was putting on my new 4Runner body on my Enduro chassis, but I didn't want to stick with these. I knew I would not keep these, but I needed something because the new body was complete. When I first took these tires out, they were very, we'll just say, dusty. I think you can see there all that powdery residue. This is the first set I opened up right out of the bag, and I actually treated this with WD-40. You can see this is now a very clean, very fresh looking tire, but this is basically what they looked like right out of the bag. This was likely just sitting in A-Main's stock for quite a while. This is probably just sitting on the rack or in a box or something like that for quite a while. The rubber has started to dry out. It's not that big a deal. I simply used WD-40 and I sprayed it onto a microfiber towel, and then I gave it a good wipe down. Yeah, this is a nice clean looking tire. Well, clean meaning brand new. I'm going to take that insert out. This is just a standard white foam, kind of a medium, I'd say medium feel foam insert. From what I hear, it's a great stock insert and works well with these tires. It's got these these straight kind of horizontal treads right there in the middle there. That's good for grip, for lateral grip, and as well as the side lugs being pretty meaty. So some of the things you can see here, they no longer have the painted white logo. It's just the Duratrax logo with raised lettering. And I really like this block lettering. Looks really good on this tire. In addition, you've got the measurements on the side here. So 4.75 overall diameter by 1.75 inch overall width. And it's a 1.9 inner diameter for your wheels, for your beadlock wheels. So the first thing I'm going to do is just wipe this down with some alcohol, get the residue off. It's not going to make this shiny and black and looking new again. That's what the WD-40 is for. But it's going to clean the tire and just make sure I get the initial residue. I don't know if you can see that, but that's actually some a light powder on my finger there, and that's going to come off. And as I'm wiping this down, I'm just going all the way around. I'm going to make sure I get the inside bead there, because I'm going to go ahead and mount the wheels now. And once I do that, it's not too bad. So I'm not picking up any dirt. All I'm doing is I'm picking up some residue. We are done with the initial cleaning. We're going to replenish this, we're going to condition this, and it's going to look as good as new. Well, it is new, but it's going to look exactly what it should look like. I'm actually going to ditch the stock foams. This insert is a little bit smaller. If I put this into the Fossil, what I'm going to get is a nice relief on the inside. You see how that bead now kind of folds over, which will make this a lot easier to mount the wheel onto. Yeah, I really like how I've got a little bit of extra space there. That's going to provide a nice relief for the wheel ring. And this has a nice almost a double lip. So it has a nice reveal where the bead is easy to kind of pull away from the front and the back rings. So you do want to do kind of a cross pattern as you're screwing these down. This has the stock foam insert, and this has the Enduro insert. So really up here along the treads, you can see it's a little bit wider than using the stock foam. So I kind of like that because I'm theoretically going to get more contact, a wider contact patch. You can see I'm getting a lot of bounce back there. It's pretty firm, but these are not vented either. So these are not only vented, but I'm doing the same amount of pressure, and I'm getting a lot of, I've got a lot more give. I've got just a microfiber rag here, and I've got some standard WD-40. So I'm just pressing gently here, just getting enough of the WD-40 out. So I'm simply going to go around the tire, just kind of dab it like that. Again, I'm giving this a nice coating, just kind of rubbing it in there. Not trying to make it real goopy or anything like that. I just want this to get a nice conditioning, some moisture back into it. So just make sure you're safe with this because it is a chemical. Now we're going to move on to the next one. This does not take away from the tire at all. What this is doing though is it's penetrating the rubber, and we are conditioning. So we're adding in moisture, we're adding in conditioner, kind of like conditioning your skin after it's been dry and cracking. Why don't you listen to this? You can hear that. Yeah, it's got nice stickiness to it. Not only is it conditioning the rubber, but it's also going to bring out the best aspects of this compound. So it's the stickiness of the compound is going to come out, and over time, you're going to get it dirty, you're going to get it dusty, and the compound will start to degrade, and it won't be as sticky. But you can always wash it down. You can always add more WD-40 over time to keep restoring and replenishing and conditioning the rubber.
The next day.
These have turned out really well. These sat overnight, and they did a great job basically soaking in that WD-40 and any sort of lubrication, any sort of slickness is gone. So now, I don't know if you can hear that, but that's nice and tacky. That's actually a great word for tires, is not necessarily sticky, but tacky, because there's no additional moisture, there's no additional residue that would cause my finger to slip over the rubber. The rubber is basically just exhibiting a great level of resistance. Just, it wants to stick, but again, I think tacky is a much better word, a much better descriptor when talking about tires. Okay, so we're ready to mount these. Yes. Those look terrific. Yeah, I'm super pleased with these. With these inserts, I mean, it gives a perfect air down scale squish right at the bottom of the tire. Look, that's a general grabber. So that's roughly the same size now. That was the Enduro Canyon Trail, just a touch smaller. Hey, hear that? Nice and tacky. That looks just great. Let's see how they perform on the trail. Well, that's not going to happen. Shortly after I made this video, I went to some local trails to test out these Duratrax tires, but unfortunately, I failed and failed miserably. I was on the first obstacle, top of the morning, and the truck had all that extra weight up top, and unfortunately, because of the ascent and because of the angle that I was climbing and trying to hit the line, the truck actually rolled back on itself and took a pretty bad tumble. The truck itself was fine. It didn't fall that hard, but whatever it fell on, it must have fallen directly onto a rock and caused almost like a fracture of the paint. So the next video will be focused on prepping the paint, repairing it, and then sealing it, and keep this sitting pretty on the shelf. Until then, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this, give us a thumbs up, share with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this in the future. And as always, keep crawling.